those that are here for the very first time, this is the leadership that we do weekly on Monday with Brent Gove. I'm actually filling in for Brent Gove today. So you have been, I'd say, disgruntledly blessed, if that's even a word, with myself. I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Chris Okamura. I'm in Sacramento. I was one of Brent's first 8 that he recruited when he joined DXP. I've known Brent for probably well almost 15 years. We both were Keller Williams back in the day. We both were team leaders back in the day. So we've been able to continue this relationship, and he introduced this to me, again, one of his first 8. So it's been an exciting journey since January 2017. And we've always had an opportunity to get connected and bring in people like David, who we're interviewing today. Met David recently at some of the events that we've done. And I think it was Stock or Phoenix, we did one. I think I met you the first time, David.
Yep.
And was it? I think it was Phoenix.
Yep.
Okay. And, being able to collaborate and connect and build relationships with people across the country is probably one of the most unique things I love about this model. I'm able to connect with people all over the country and build relationships that I never would able to have before. So, but this leadership piece, 30 minutes that we have designed every week for everybody to come in that's interested in grow their business and build. And this is the recruiting model here that we're looking to do and help people enhance their opportunities to help build their business. And today we've been honored to have David Golden on stage. He's from Vegas. He's going to share a little bit of his story here with us today, kind of give some insight on what he's doing with his business, how he's actually helping it grow, and some of his techniques that he can share we can all use. And then we can, again, do some Q&A at the end to kind of ask any more deeper questions you might have for David. So quickly, David, if you could kind of do an interview, introduce yourself real quick, kind of let us know who you are and how you got into this with DXP.
Cool. So good morning, everybody. My name is David Golden. I'm an agent in Las Vegas. I've been doing real estate for the last 25 years. 10 of those years were spent at Keller Williams. 2.5 of those years were spent as a team leader for Keller Williams. Back in 2006, I was ranked the number 3 team leader in the country by recruiting numbers. So I brought on 122 agents in 1 year net. And it was a pretty crazy year, but a lot of fun. I learned a lot. Super grateful for that experience. And I love the Keller Williams model because of the recruiting aspect of it and because you can build a residual income. I've always been about residual income and creating that passive cash flow to be able to get out of the rat race and not have to work for money anymore, or all my bills are paid before I even get out of bed, kind of thing, which I think is total financial freedom and beautiful. So I learned about EXP from my sponsor, Rosie Rodriguez. She shared with me this model. I watched the video 3 times and nearly fell off my chair. I went to Mexico for 5 days and with the leadership team and literally broke down in tears when it finally hit me as Rob Flick was doing his wealth chart presentation. Hugged my sponsor and said, "Thank you, Rosie. You have no idea what you've done for my life." And from then to now, I've brought on board 32 people. That's turned into 553 as of this morning. And last month, I brought in $23,000 in residual, which was a really cool experience. And I want to be able to help anybody and everybody do that for their lives because it is the most amazing feeling in the world.
That is awesome. Congratulations. And how long have you been with DXP now at this point, David?
I joined in February of 2018, so 19 months, 20 months.
19 months, you build an organization that, let's be honest, is quite larger than most brokerages, brick and mortar brokerages today.
I built 2 market centers for Keller Williams. One was to 256 agents and one was to 272.
Yeah. And
it was a lot more work.
Heck yeah. For those in the audience who can't relate, obviously I can't do, being a team leader role is probably one of the most challenging and most underappreciated positions in Keller Williams, to be quite honest. It is. It is draining. But nonetheless, I, like yourself, saw the concept behind it, what it really was designed, which was leverage. Just unfortunate at that point, we were the guys that were just building and building and building, but not really seeing the residual from that, unfortunately. And now we are. So I guess my first question to you is that most of them that are sitting in the audience today are probably thinking the same thing. Obviously 2 team leaders up on stage, we probably have it designed where it's so much easier for us because we know it. What does it take for somebody that doesn't have some of this background in recruiting or team leader to get started as they're maybe initiating this whole process and getting into the realm of recruiting?
I think my biggest piece of advice and is just to literally consume the content over and over and over, like spaced repetition of these videos, right? Like you watch the Rob Flick wealth chart video. How many of you in here have watched the wealth chart video? I mean, if you haven't watched the 90-minute Rob Flick wealth chart video, you got to watch that, and you got to watch it every single day or every single week until you can actually teach that class, or until it becomes an emotional experience for you when it clicks. Because when you get excited about it, you can excite other people about it. So there's a Rob Flick 90-minute training. I said watch it until you can literally teach it. Watch it as many times as you possibly can, because at some point it'll click. Same thing with the model explained, right? When you're trying to talk to people about this and they start asking you questions and you don't know the answers, it makes it's less exciting for them to continue conversation. So it's really cool to get to know the answers, and also just get them curious to watch a video and then have a conversation with me or with Chris or with Brent Gove or with whoever is in your upline. Like, let us do the heavy lifting for you. Don't try to do it on your own. It's a team sport, right? Don't be a solo agent. Like, it's that we're here to help you guys do this. And I help people from other downlines or whatever organizations. Like, I don't care. I'll help whoever wants help. Because I'm just that excited about the opportunity, and I just love helping people. And you know what? Karma's a beautiful thing. It always comes back.
Absolutely. I like when you put that. So a couple things. One, I would reiterate that you brought out is consistency, which if we want to go back and relate this to our real estate business, where most of us in this group are very familiar with, we have to be consistent about the activities in our real estate to be successful where we're at today. And we started not possibly knowing how to do a listing presentation, not knowing how to do a buyer consult, not knowing how to do a lot of things that we had to learn. But you, like you said, you utilize people and leverage people that help you out. And David's right. Any one of us will help any one of you guys in this crowd. And Brent, I mean, even both people above us, Brent, Gene, Rob, there's a handful of people that I can mention that'd be more than willing to help out. Yeah. Right? I was always told, like Gene said, be a great inviter. Just be a great inviter. And not necessarily have to do this part. We will do this part for you. So tell us some of your daily strategies that you're using, David, to maybe help some people can share with them, maybe get some ideas, take another way of what you're doing on a daily basis, or regimen, or like a habit.
Well, one thing I do is I have my wealth chart blown up on a massive whiteboard in the middle of my house. So I stare at it all day long. Like from my entire living room, like I can watch it from my living room, from my dining room. I stare at the wealth chart literally all day. And so I've got names on there. I'm focused on it. It's top of mind always. And that keeps me really excited because I know exactly where I'm going and I'm focused on my goal the entire time. So that's one thing. So I would say if you don't have a wealth chart, get a wealth chart, make it big, put it somewhere prominent where you're always staring at it. Very, very important. Very, very important. That's number one. And then two, just call your friends. Call your friends who are agents. Say hello. Ask them how they're doing. You don't have to recruit them. Just build relationships, right? And then whenever there's an event coming to town or whatever, then invite them to the event. Invite them to the happy hour. Invite them to coffee. Like, just be their friends. Be there to help them with their business or whatever they need in that, right? And then just pick your opportunities to talk about EXP or get them curious and interested enough to watch a video at some point or have a conversation or a Zoom call with one of us. I mean, it's not, you don't have to go like have MLM Brent. Like that's not what it's about. It's just going out and being in a relationship. So my business partner in ES Pro, Jesse Zagorski, just taught me this the other day. We were doing a class in Seattle and he was talking about how to be liked by people and how to build relationships. And one of the things is proximity. So you have to be near these people consistently, right? You have to be around agents, building relationships. It doesn't matter what you're doing, if you're at a networking event, if you're at a coffee, if you're at lunch, if you're at the office, whatever, like just be around agents. Go to all the events that the title companies do. Just attend them, right? And be around agents. Like if you're around agents, you're going to build relationships with agents. Just simply hanging out with them. And yeah, I mean, they're going to be curious about what you're doing anyways. The people, I mean, EXP is definitely disrupting the industry, and people know it. And it's almost better if you don't try to shove it down their throats, right? Like they don't want to be recruited. They just want to be your friend, right? So be their friend and help them with their business, and the opportunity will arise where you can invite them somewhere, and that's it. It's not you don't have to pitch them.
Exactly. I like it. And it's so funny. This goes right back to the same thing. It sounds so familiar, right? We've been talking about relationships and connecting with people, which is exactly what we've been doing in real estate for our entire career. Relationships with buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
Now, we just turn the needle and we start focusing on our colleagues who know, like, and trust us. Everything in this business is designed around people who know, like, and trust you. So, I want to throw this out there. You said the word, multi-market, whatever. I think we get that kind of stigma or paraphrase on this a lot, but we consider to be a multi-marketing company, which if you really want to know by true definition, we are just marketing not a product, we're marketing a real estate company, which every real estate company is doing the same thing. They're a marketing real estate company. Some are doing it through a team leader position that we've had a role before, or some have done it where word of mouth by friends who know I can trust each other, go around and tell their friends and colleagues about some amazing concept in their real estate company that's changing their business, and they need to come talk to their manager. It's no different. So, David, you're right. Go out and sell real estate. Go be the iconic individual you need to be in the marketplace so that people start to know you. And then as they do, they're going to be curious for why you're doing such an amazing job in your real estate career. And guess what? Now it's time to have a conversation about why your life has changed in this PhD. And let us do that heavy lifting. So, where do you see some of the issues that you're coming against right now that maybe some of the people in the audience might be dealing with, as far as any kind of conviction, the people that may be having problems? When you're out there talking to people, what are some of the things that you're hearing that maybe that might be related to them in the audience that they're having problems? Or are you having any at all?
I mean, it's we need an office. We want an office. Okay, so we'll get you an office. Right. You don't need to be in an office for bunch of other realtors. You just need an office so you can get your work done. So you can find an office anywhere. It's not a big deal. I mean, that's the main one I hear in the office. Do you guys have some questions that you're getting that you want answered? Does anybody have an objection that needs handling?
Yeah, somebody's typing something right now. Tom? Voice cutting out. All right, sorry, I had some bad internet this morning. All right. Rebecca, one of the most common I run into is that they have already spoken with someone who was a bad example of HP agent attraction. Okay. Yeah. So run into a lot of people like that. You got an talk on that, David?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have tried to pitch this incorrectly, right? And it leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. But just because one person does it like that doesn't mean that everyone does it like that, right? It's up to us to present it correctly and get them to understand what the opportunity really is. So I wouldn't so much pitch EXP to them. I would just say, hey, I mean, after they've been so offended. Oh, so I mean, if they're your friends, just be their friend. Like you want to go have coffee with them. I mean, if are they not your friend enough you can't invite them out to coffee? Or it's not, you don't have to go pitch them EXP, right? I tell them my story, right? Because for me, it was an emotional experience. So I want to create an emotional experience for them. I don't want them to think about this logically. I want them to think about what EXP can do for their lives, right? Like when I tell them my story, I was 40 years old and completely broke after having sold thousands of homes and being one of the top recruiters for Keller Williams and owning franchises. Like, why was I broke at 40 still? Because no matter how much money I made, I'd spend it all. So when I talk about this opportunity, I'm like, okay, every single month I'm getting a raise, and now all my bills are paid without having to go to work. Like, no matter if I get sick, if I get hurt, something happens to me, my family's taken care of. Like, that's a big deal, right? So figure out what's important to them, or what their life goals are, what they're trying to achieve in their world, what they're passionate about, what they're put on this planet for. It's not to go sell another 1,000 houses, right? Figure out what really matters to them and speak to that. And then how this could help them achieve that, right? That's the trick, right? You know, can you go make $100,000 a month doing what you're doing? Really hard. You know, building a 7th level team like Gary Keller has taught me for years with the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, teaches you how to get from level 1 to level 7. It's a really long and difficult process to get to level 7. And even when you get to level 7, if you exit the business completely and hire a CEO to run it for you, it's not going to run the same way. You're going to have to come back into it. Like, I've done this a ton of times, and I've helped a lot of people and coached a lot of people get to the 7th level, which is really hard. So what I'm building with revenue share, what revenue share is to me when I speak to Keller Williams people especially, I talk to them about the 7th level and the book that Gary Keller teaches, and I'm like, but how would you like to go from level 1 to level 7, skip all the BS and all the other levels, and have the team truly own a 7th level mega national expansion team? Because that's what I run. I have a 7th level real estate team that runs in 23 states with 553 agents. And I don't even have an assistant. Like, my overhead's $85 a month. These guys that run these big mega teams, their overhead is massive. They've got a ton of people that are working for them. And if one person leaves, it disrupts their business, right? They lose a listing agent, they lose a buyer specialist, they lose an assistant. Like, it's catastrophic for their businesses. And it's a pain in the butt to have to keep rebuilding it all the time, because people leave, they quit, they move, whatever. So I just share with them like that's how I talk to people. But I study these videos over and over and over, and so different ideas pop into my head. I also talk about the Cashflow Quadrant from Robert Kiyosaki. If you have not read Cashflow Quadrant from Robert Kiyosaki, I'd highly recommend you do that. But that's how I explain EXP too. I say, look, there's the employee side, the self-employed side, which is 95% of you guys. And then on the right side of the quadrant, where the passive income is the 5%ers. And that's the business income, big business income, and investor income. So when you join EXP, the revenue share is the big business. That's your B quadrant. And then the stock is the investor quadrant. And I ask them if they have that at their company. And they always say no, because nobody else offers that.
Exactly. It's like actually a phenomenal book. I've done that Cashflow Quadrant in a training for agents for many years that they've probably used as well. It's a great concept for people to see things in a clear picture.
Yeah. And then also, Chris, it's funny that we're on this call today, because we met at the airport. I forget where we were, and you showed me a book. Also, it's called Exactly What to Say. Right? Yeah. Is that you?
No, that one wasn't me. No.
That was you. Which one was it?
I think the one I was on, Slide Edge.
Okay, Slide Edge. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Slide Edge. That was another great book. Those that read Slide Edge was a great book too. But I think in the essence of people in their business of real estate and understanding where they want to be at in life, the Cashflow Quadrant really puts into perspective of really figuring out where they want to be at, whether they're on the rat race and that hands for the rest of their life, right, as a self-employed person, or finally leveraging themselves. And at KW for years, we used to say that right-hand side of the quadrant, that 5% of people are doing 95% of the work, or 95% of people are getting 5%, and only getting like 5% of the wealth in America, right? Where the other side, they're doing like 5%, getting 95% of the wealth in America. So where do you want to be at?
Right.
This model, EXP, literally helps you take full advantage of that. So
yeah. Another thing that's in my head right now, there's a game, a board game called Cashflow that Robert Kiyosaki created. Get people to understand what he's talking about. And so you could also have a game night at your house and invite a few of your agent friends that are, for game night. Come over and play Cashflow with you, and drink some wine or have some beers or whatever, have appetizers, what you want to do, and invite people to your house and just play a game. And by them playing that game, they will understand what EXP represents, which is it represents financial freedom, and your real estate company doesn't. That's basically the point that you're trying to get them to make. So you're trying to make them. They want to be on the right side of the quadrant. They understand why it's important. They finally see that as the actual goal. They get excited about that, and then we're the vehicle to help them do that.
Perfect. Somebody asked a question, any advice to a new agent who doesn't know much people in the industry yet? I would say the first job as a real estate agent is to go out and meet people. That is your job. You're not a real estate, you're not a realtor, you're a connector. Your job is lead generation, which ultimately means you have to go out and reach out to people, whether it's through open house, door knocking, cold calling, whatever it is that source is, you got to go out and do that. The same goes for recruiting or attracting agents. You go out and start meeting other agents. There's so many different things you can do. BNIs, mixers. There's so many mixers you can do that industry related mixers where you're going to go out and you're going to meet real estate agents. I was a director for CAR for 6 years, and I traveled with CAR and NAR, and I met a boatload of real estate agents there. And so many people used to give me so much slack about I was wasting my time. But the truth of the matter is now I have a huge database of relationships that I've built with agents across the country for the last 6 years. Is that valuable to me now? Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. So I would say my one advice is go out and be the real estate agent you're supposed to be, which is the complete extrovert, and start meeting people, saying hi, connecting, building relationships, having coffee, having lunches, having whatever with people, and start. To get to know people in the industry so they get to know, like, and trust you.
Yeah, and again,
want to add on that, David?
Yeah, I do. Attend real estate conferences, right? I call them target-rich environments. When you go to a real estate conference, you're surrounded by the people that you want to be surrounded by, realtors, right? So go to target-rich environments. Real estate conferences are amazing for us. And also, we're cutting out.
Yeah.
So sorry, guys.
Sorry, yeah, it's bad connection there. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't get it. But yeah, go to real estate conferences, attend them, make friends, right? Buy them a drink.
Yeah, every realtor loves alcohol. Let's be honest.
In your experience, what was the question here? In your experience,
most of the agencies probably, yeah.
Building a market, would you say timing was critical for most of the agencies? Yes, absolutely. Timing is everything with this stuff. Be patient, right? My business partner, Jesse Zagorski, it took me 9 months to get him to EXP. I literally called him every 2 weeks. And for 9 months, he was no, but not interested. And finally one day, he got sick of his independent brokerage and was annoyed at all his overhead, and he was open. And I got him to finally watch the video, and then he was ready to come over again. Especially if they're a bigger agent, they take a lot more time. But man, it's worth it. It's a good time doing this stuff.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
To Brian. Brian, right? Are you familiar with the book Gove?
Yes, I am.
I read.
Yeah, I read once, and I want to go to a conference.
So when you kept contact with that fellow for 9 months, did you take him to the next step? Like, in other words, he says, well, tell me about rev share. Did you send him something? And then the next question would be, and then send him another video or three-way call.
Yeah, he was not open to talking to me about it at all. And so I just kept calling him and letting him know how I was doing. And I asked him how he was doing. And then when he was finally open to it, then I sent him a model explain, which explains it all.
If you have anybody's David, I'm not interested, don't call me anymore.
Jesse, my partner told me, he said, tell me about EXP again. We're not going to be friends anymore. And I said, Jesse, I love you too much to let you not see this opportunity. And he finally was like, wow, like you're that serious about it. I'm like, dude, if you don't like it, then don't like it and I'll leave you alone. But don't tell me you don't like it when you haven't even seen what it is. So watch the video, and if you don't like it, I'll stop bothering you.
Yeah, so many times I've had conversation with somebody when I'm talking to them, and the first response to them is that, oh, I know everything about HP. I've heard it all already. And I literally say, that's fine, that's great. I'm super excited. I just love to get to know you more and just have coffee. We won't even talk about EXP. And they're open to sit with me. But throughout the conversation, we start talking about EXP because it always comes up. Yeah. And all of a sudden, they're like, oh, wow, it's about that? I didn't know that. And they start asking me questions like, well, I thought you knew everything about EXP.
Yeah.
So,
I tell them, I say, what do you know?
Yeah.
What do you know about EXP? And then I let them tell me what they know, which is not a lot.
Yes. They don't know anything. Let's be honest. It's like you walking onto a car lot and you telling the car salesman you want to buy a car. That's the first response. The wall of defense. So,
you guys use the 7-minute video introduction?
I don't.
I
use the 3 napkins from Gene Frederick. Me too. Amen.
I've seen that.
I love 3 napkins. That's awesome, right? You can say, hey, I've been watching this webinar. It's a 20-minute webinar. I've been watching it literally every single day because it's so amazing. Like I think it'd be fun to watch this webinar with you. You think it'd be fun to watch the webinar with me? And they're a total jackass if they say no.
We'll send out the 3 napkin video. I'll see if Rob can put that onto Brent Gove resources, or actually Rob, just put it in there right now. Everybody, the link to their 3 napkin video.
It's like magic.
Like magic. It's an amazing video. Like David said, I listened to it over and over and over and over again, and literally memorized that. It's cool.
Yeah, you guys need to watch these webinars before you start talking to people. You guys need to watch them enough and enough times so you guys actually internalize it. If you can't teach it, then you don't know it enough. So spend your time watching the videos and educating them. Watch the 3 napkins, watch the model explain, watch the 90-minute wealth chart, build your wealth chart, write down your top 100 people that you're going after, go through your phone, go through your Facebook, find out all your agents. And yeah, do that.
All right.
You'll get more excited and re-enroll yourself. And the more excited you get, the easier it is to recruit. Yeah,
good job.
Movie night. Have a movie night. Watch Rob Flick 90-minute video. Yeah, that's a great idea, Stacey.
Okay, we got about 1 minute left here. I want to be very conscious of the time and be respectful too. So, any last minute questions you might have, Tom? Raise your hand.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I love everything you guys are saying. I just wish I could hear better because you guys keep cutting out right in the juicy stuff, and I'm like, ah. Anyway, the question I love the follow up that you mentioned, David, because I've been like hesitant to do that, and Rob Flick does it a lot. Like I love your response of, hey, I love you too much not to let you see this. If you see it and don't like it, cool. I'll never bug you again, but I want you to see it. Were you literally calling me every 2 weeks and saying, see the video, see the? That just gets old. Like, if they're, what did you call them? Did you invite them to stuff? And hey, let's get to lunch. Did you just build a relationship? Or did you just not bring up EXP? How do you follow up without alienating people? That's the fine line that I'm trying to slice in this thing.
You let them ask you how you're doing, right? So you call them and say, hey, how's it going? Haven't talked to you in a while. How are the kids? How's the family? How's blah blah blah? How's business doing? And then as soon as they finish answering all those questions, they're going to naturally say, what are you up to? And then you tell them.
No, I got that. But you followed up with your buddy for 9 months.
Yeah.
There was no mystery about why you were calling. He knew, like, okay, shit, David's calling about EXP again. Oh, great. Yeah, right. I mean, you called him every 2 weeks. And when you say, I love you too much to not let you see this thing, that's a pretty bold statement. Like, there's no going back from that statement. Like, okay, you're on a mission, which is awesome. I love it. But, what else do you say to the guy after that? I mean, did he say, no, I'm not going to see it?
No, he caught.
So that was finally the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, I texted him a screenshot of Brent Gove's revenue share.
Okay.
That's when he became interested.
It really goes back to timing again, Tom. You know, this follow-up is just like the real estate business with buyers and sellers. There's no right time. People pull the trigger when they're ready to pull the trigger. And, you know, Dave, you're going to drop on him and send him a text message, say hi, have coffee, whatever it takes, drop the term. The relationship's not going to stop. And at some point, his gate will be ready to be open from the inside out, as Gene Frederick says, right? So
Right.
There's like this right recipe to be able to maintain a consistent drop or a drip or a connection. It's however you see fit. You have to figure that out, determine on based on your relationship with that person. As David had with his colleague, he knew him probably better than somebody else did. So you can say things and do things that probably some people couldn't do. But it's all relative to your relationship, and you got to kind of figure that out and mess with it, kind of customize it.
Yeah, just be their friend. Be their friend and try to, you know, if they need help, coach them. Coach, even train them better than their current broker. And when they're ready to move, they're going to call you because you're adding value, right? Be a value add.
All right, real quick, Noelle, we got time for one more. You have a question, Noelle?
Yeah, it's just nuts and bolts. Far as the wealth chart, where did you guys order that? Send the PDF to, or can you give me?
It's in the links right now. Rob just printed that.
Where he ordered it?
The actual one.
Yeah, it actually was there. I went down to Kinko's, and I've had Kinko's print them out for me.
Oh, okay, I tried Staples and they do not, so I'll run over to Kinko's and
Right.
okay.
Something before, and so, cool. Anybody else got a question here before we end this? Wrap it up. No. Noelle, your hand's up again, or is that a question, or is it kind of just stuck there? Awesome. And Stacy said they had them laminated, so that's awesome too. That's a good idea.
Laminated is great. That way you want to do it like a dry erase, right?
Yep.
So you can put in names and take them off. You can wipe, you can erase, all that stuff.
Awesome. All right. Well, I hope this was valuable to you guys. Now, again, we only do this for 30 minutes every Monday. Again, Monday next week, same time, same place. Anytime before that, you guys have questions, feel free to utilize the links, resources like BrentGoveResource.com, myself. David, thank you so much for coming out. You're in Southern California today. You're a rock star. I really appreciate having you on stage with me. I look forward to seeing everybody in Vegas.